In this video, we'll learn how to classify word problems based on their structure. In this course, we'll focus on addition and subtraction word problem structures, and then in Mate 3060, you'll focus on the multiplication and division word problem structures. Addition and subtraction word problems are classified based on the types of actions or relationships described in the problem. These correspond with the ways that children think about the problem rather than how we as adults think about the problem in terms of operations. This means that we are not classifying problems in this course by addition problems and subtraction problems, but rather we are focusing on the relationships and actions that children see when they read word problems. There are 4 basic word problem types for addition and subtraction: join, separate, part, whole, and comparison. All 4 of these addition and subtraction word problem structures are introduced by the end of 2nd grade. As children progress through the grades, the number size, theme, or context of each problem can change, but the overall structure remains the same. Here's an example of a similar addition and subtraction word problem. In kinder, we might say John has 2 cakes, Lee has 3 cakes. How much cake do they have all together? But however, when we get to 4th grade, those quantities are going to change. However, the structure still stays the same. So in 4th grade, we would say John has half a cake, Lee has 3/4 of a cake. How much cake do they have all together? Notice that the word problems are similar, but I just changed the number size, okay? As kids progress through the grades, we use these same word problem structures for all addition and subtraction situations. The numbers and context just change. To help you get started thinking about these addition and subtraction word problem structures, we'll first look at word problems and decide if the quantity is changing, or there is action in the problem, or the quantity is not changing, and instead we're talking about the relationship between 2 numbers. Based on whether or not the quantity is changing or not changing, then we will classify the problem further by deciding if the quantity is changing, is it a joining action where the quantity increases, or a separate action where the quantity decreases. If the quantity is not changing and is talking about a relationship, then we'll decide, is it a part, whole relationship, or is it a comparison relationship where 2 quantities are being compared? Let's look at an example. John has 13 strawberries. Rob has 10 blueberries. How many more berries does John have than Rob? The first thing I have to decide is whether the quantity is changing in this word problem. Is there action? Or is the quantity not changing? Is it about a relationship? When I look at this word problem, I notice that it's asking how many more berries does John have than Rob? That's about the relationship between the 2 boys' berries. So I know that the quantity is not changing, it's about a relationship. Now I have to decide, is it a part, whole relationship or a comparison relationship? Since it's comparing the number of berries that John and Rob have, I know this is a comparison word problem. Let's look at a second example. John has 13 strawberries. He got 12 more berries from his friend Rob. How many berries does he have now? So I have to decide, is the quantity changing? Is there action in this problem? Or is the quantity not changing? Is it about a relationship? In this problem, John starts with 13 berries, and then he gets 12 more. That means that the quantity is changing. He's getting more berries. Because he's getting more berries, I know it must be a join problem because the quantity of berries is increasing. So this would be known as a join word problem type. Let's look at a third example. John has 13 strawberries. Rob has 12 blueberries. How many berries do they have all together? So we're going to begin by asking, is the quantity changing of the number of berries? Or is the quantity not changing and it's about a relationship? In this example, it's about a relationship. We're not getting more or less berries. It's about John's berries and Rob's berries. It's about a collection of berries and their relationship with each other. Now that we've determined that there is no action or the quantity is not changing, we have to decide, are we comparing the quantities of berries that the boys have, or is this about a part-part-whole relationship? In this example, it's a part-part-whole relationship because the two parts are John's berries and Rob's berries, and the whole would be the total number of berries they have together. This is a part-part-whole word problem. Be careful with this problem type. It's easy to think that just because I could use a part-part-whole map to solve a problem, that it must be a part-part-whole word problem type, but that isn't true. The part-part-whole word problem type are problems where the quantity is not changing, and we're talking about the relationship between a set and its subsets. Let's look at one last example before you try this on your own. John has 13 berries. 7 are strawberries and the rest are blueberries. How many blueberries does John have? So we have to decide, is the quantity of berries changing? Is there action? Or is the quantity not changing? Is this a relationship? Well, in this problem, it's a relationship. I know that John isn't getting more berries or losing any berries. It's about a relationship. Now, the question is it a comparison relationship or is it a part-part-whole relationship? In this example, it's part-part-whole because it's a relationship between two subsets.